Welcome to Unmute Yourself. I'm Jennifer Carter, and I am so glad you're here. This podcast is about lifting the curtain on leadership, purpose, and the real stories behind people who dared to do things differently. We'll talk about how they found their path, the struggles they faced, and how they built something that truly matters. Now, these are everyday people doing extraordinary things, and I want you to know you are capable of that too. And for today's conversation, I'm excited to welcome Kathryn Rowell. Good morning, Kathryn.
Good morning, Jennifer. Thank you for having me.
Thanks so much for being here. Everyone, Kathryn is a seasoned consultant and franchise owner at Schooley Mitchell, North America's largest independent cost reduction firm. She's known as a business efficiency expert, helping organizations uncover hidden cost leaks, recover lost revenue in healthcare, and fund growth without loans, debt, or layoffs. But what makes Kathryn's journey so remarkable are the pivots she's made, including her background in law enforcement, healthcare, and consulting, all of which fit together into a story of courage, adaptability, and leadership. Kathryn, thank you so much for joining me today. Now, your career has spanned, as we earlier mentioned, law enforcement, healthcare, and now you're into consulting. So what gave you the courage to make those big pivots?
I went into the dental field originally, and I discovered shortly that I really should have been the dentist. And so what had happened was that while I was in college, I actually was a dispatcher for the college police department. So I interacted with the local agencies. I also had we had a family friend who was a homicide detective in a large agency here in Texas. And so I've been around law enforcement my entire life for some shape, form, or fashion. And so it became one of those things. I knew that I wasn't happy as a hygienist, but I also knew I wasn't going to go back to dental school. I just was done with school at the time. And so it was a perfect time. Everybody in the DFW Metroplex area, most of the large agencies were hiring at that point. And so it was just a matter of who got to me first.
Thanks so much. It's so interesting because people are like, I can't do this. I can't take a big switch because that's a complete, right, 180 or 360 from what I was doing before. So how have each of your career chapters built on one another, even when they've seemed so different on the surface?
Yes. On the surface, they do appear so dramatically different from each other, but they're really not because they're all based on helping whether it's individuals, helping businesses so they can help their clients. There's an undertone or an undercurrent of helping in that manner in all the things that I have done or am doing right now.
Yeah, it's that big value of how to be a helper and how to give back, no matter how that shows up. So I'm curious too, like, how was there a moment when you realized that one chapter was closing and another needed to begin? And how did you know that it was time?
Well, definitely the early on with the dental hygiene into the law enforcement side, it was obvious that since I was not going to go back to school, I had to pivot. And so I knew that other side through the work I had done while I was in college. And I knew that it was a solid career on that portion of it. So it made good sense to go ahead and do that because it literally took everything that I had already been doing with the helping and working with people and just took it on. Really, it gave it a rocket boost in that respect because it wasn't just an individual, but it was a community now that I was working with. And then from that, whenever like we discussed previously, I have 36 years in law enforcement. 36 years is a long time.
It's
And it came about and I realized it was time to hang up the gun belt, say, on that portion of it and to pivot again. And so what I had decided to do was still take that helping undertone, but this time going out and helping businesses so that they are more profitable and they are able to help their clients.
it's 36 years in law enforcement, right? I'm sure that you have had many different experiences there. So how did that experience, I know you were chief at one point, correct?
Yes, ma'am. I
Yes.
was.
Right. So how did that experience shape the way that you lead and solve problems today?
There's been some pivots because obviously society in itself and how we address issues have changed over time. But I literally came up from the bottom. So I started working the streets from the very bottom as an officer, all the way through captain in one department. And as I got up to that rank, I was gradually getting more and more responsibilities. So whether it was dealing with vendors, dealing with budgets, doing negotiations, I was handling all of it. And when I left that, retired from that department, went and became a chief in another department, it was the same deal, same type of situation. Just this time I was negotiating for the department, not just my particular division. And then all of the benefits in that still came back to the city itself
Mm.
to help the budget or help us be able to provide more benefits to our clients or the actual citizens of the city.
So you see it from a really big picture, from a macro level, from even your days as law enforcement to impact the whole community or business,
Oh,
right?
most definitely. Yes.
Awesome. And you said the word negotiation.
Yes.
Yes, and when a lot of people hear negotiation, they're like, "I don't wanna negotiate," whether it's salary or cost or whatever that is. How do you tackle that?
Life is a negotiation.
Oh,
You're negotiating on a daily level, whether you really think about it or not. Do I want to get up and go to work in the morning? Do I not want to get up to go and work in the morning? It's a negotiation. Whether you're promising yourself you'll go and have an ice cream cone later after because, hey, I went to work today,
that
even
sounds
though I didn't
wonderful.
want to. Why? It's a negotiation. We do it. We just don't think of it in that term when we're going about our life. But negotiations is something that everybody does. And as long as you do it with the best interest of both parties, so it's a win win, not a win lose
Mm.
situation, so that everybody still maintains their integrity, their pride. They still know that they did as well as they could, and everybody benefits in the long run, both the parties involved in the negotiations and the end run users.
You make it sound so simple, Catherine. So how did you Go ahead, go ahead.
No, there can be, but there are times it's not, because if you come into that, negotiation with the attitude of "I am going to win," then
Mm.
it can become a battle. And so there's a lot of diffusing that has to be done at times to take emotions down a little bit, take them down a few notches, and then go back and take a look and say, "Okay, this is truly in the best interest of both parties." And so that's what you're truly doing at
Mm.
that point of it's just trying to be it's not there will always be emotions involved. It's just when everybody is on that fight or flight, then it makes it more difficult. And you learn to you've got to step back a few steps, take a deep breath, maybe take a drink of your coffee and just go, okay, what's it going to really take for us to be able to resolve this?
You go into it with the end in mind, looking for a solution that helps all. Is that
Yes,
what
I
I'm hearing?
sure do. Yes, ma'am.
Great. And you don't lose sight of it. You just keep going.
Correct. The idea is what is the best way for everybody to come out ahead, but
Mhm.
yet one is not profiting over the other in such a great way that the other party is they're struggling in the long run. And that's the benefit. Everybody is a win-win situation. People keep clients, they keep clients on their books, and
Mhm.
yet our clients are still able to go ahead and then take those profits and use them to the benefit of their business, the benefit of their clients.
You seem to have such a cool head. Calm, cool, collected, thoughtful, keeping the big picture in mind. Lesson did you have to learn along the way to help get you to this point?
A lot of it is patience on that because I did not start out this way by any means. It has, for a lot of times there early on, it was my way or the highway. And that is not the right way to come into that type of situation. And so learning patience, learning to step back, take a look at the big picture, see what the emotions are that are going on, and then find out what's really the underlying cause or the underlying issue that's driving this particular situation. And once you realize that and actually start addressing that issue, then you will actually the negotiations or the process moves forward at a more peaceful
Mhm.
pace.
So, actually listening to each other rather than I always picture it as an arm wrestle of one person trying to dominate another or push them down or prove that they're right. So, thank you so much for sharing that.
You're welcome.
Yes. And that also made me think, have you had to lead differently from when you were, um, in law enforcement versus now?
Most definitely. There is a different shift because of the fact that I'm not just working an agency or in a group of employees and sending them on a mission on a daily basis as far as that goes, but I'm working with clients. And so in this case, I can see where there will be benefits on that, but I'm having to sometimes assuage fears that I'm taking somebody's job. I'm going to make them look bad. I'm not there to do that. I'm there to work quietly in the background, provide them the results that we come back with, and then I'm there to answer questions. I really do not care who presents the results. I will be more than happy to stand in the corner and just answer questions whenever they're ready.
As a support rather than a hammer.
Yes, ma'am.
Sounds like I love that. And so you now explain to me, so you specialize in helping organizations save money without cutting people, right? Or quality.
Correct. We don't want to do either one of those.
So what excites you most about this work? Like what keeps you going?
It's the fact that we bring money back to the bottom line, and whether the client is looking to hire a new employee or they want to provide better benefits. Right now, I mean, that's one of the areas of employee retention that clients are seeing issues with, that if they can provide better insurance, additional, maybe gym benefits, whatever it might be on the side that they need, employees will stay with them rather than jumping, hopefully not jumping
Yeah.
to another competitor on that side. So there's always that. And then they may be looking to actually create a better widget. And that's fine. Having that money, they're not having to go out to maybe the local bank or a third party lender, that they actually have the capital in house that they can do that.
It sounds like you're giving options and other ways to look at things, right?
Yes.
And whenever I hear cost reduction, it's always losing something or layoffs or cut 10% of your budget or we need to hit these numbers. So how do you balance that technical side of cost reduction with the human side of leadership?
The technical side of it is that we're always looking for things that are already being overpaid for. So
Oh,
we're looking at those daily indirects that are already being overpaid for. And then the human side of that comes down to the fact that we show our work up front. So we're not taking somebody else's work and we're actually claiming credit for it when it comes to that. We also work hand in hand with the current employee or employees that have been tasked to work with us. And the idea is the fact that they're the experts in their area. We literally are taking the data that they are providing to us, massaging it, working it, and then dealing with the vendors on their behalf to get them a better price. And that's what we're doing. It's a fine dance that we do with the employees of the business. And then the idea is hopefully that they see us as their partners when it comes down to it, because we are there as a partner to help provide better benefit to the business.
what I also appreciate about you is you speak with such confidence and such clarity. And I can only imagine when you left law enforcement and got into consulting with Schooling Mitchell, was there any uncertainty? How did you fight back imposter syndrome, if there was any at all? Right. And also, like, how did you stay the course if and when you doubted yourself?
It literally is, yes, there is imposter syndrome, because when you come from something you've done for 36 years and you step into a new role, you're still going to have to, you kind of have that fake it till you make it type situation going on. And it is just pure confidence. It's literally just picking up your confidence and going, hey, I know this. I do know this. They just have to understand that maybe that's not what I've been doing directly for 36 years, but this is truly what I have been doing. And so once that comes out and you show that, hey, easy enough, we do basically a peek or take a review, and we can show with just doing one area very quickly that we know what we're talking about. And so then we've opened up the door for other areas in the business for us to then review, because we have shown that we know what we're talking about, we can provide benefits, and we're not going to do anything to hurt the business. And so it's providing that confidence that we know that. and that we are literally there to do no harm. I'm not a doctor, but I'm definitely there not to do any harm to the business.
You have such a fortitude. You
Yes,
come across as so resilient, so focused, so determined. Where in
you
your
have
life?
to.
Yeah. Well, you know what though? You don't have to, because there are folks out there that are saying it's easier if I just stay where I am, or I can't do that, or I've never worked in this field. And so then they don't. So where did you learn this? Like, how was this instilled in you?
He was instilled as a small child because I was taught that you can do whatever you want to do. And so I actually probably would have been a Spanish teacher as far as
Oh,
that, except my parents were school teachers, and I realized, I don't know, junior high, early high school, that that was not going to make it. I saw what was going on in the education system at that time and went, yeah, as much as I like it, it's not the career. And so it was one of those that it's like, okay, go and do what you want. Well, I really wanted to be an astronaut, but
oh,
I
cool.
also know that, you know, my math skills are not always that strong. And that was an area that just wasn't going to happen. But that's okay. Hey, that's why there's Star Trek. So you get a chance to watch the show and daydream a little bit with it. And then everything else I have done has always been, well, you're a woman, you can't do this. Not true. I am, yes, a woman, but no, I can do that just like anybody else can do that. And so it's a matter of grit and determination, and it's picking up yourself by the bootstraps and going, I can do this. There is no reason why I cannot do this. And believing, you have to dig down and believe in yourself and your self worth, that the value you provide to your clients is unmentionable. I mean, they just, once they actually see the value and realize what you bring, it's a joy. They actually get the fact that they are saving. They have found a very easy way, for the most part, for them to get new savings and add to their bottom line so that they can do other things with their business.
You said something so important. You said you have to believe in yourself.
Yes.
Yes, you have to believe in yourself or nobody else will, right?
Yes,
And it
very
sounds
much
like
on that one.
yeah. Yeah, so as you've gone through your career, I can imagine people have pushed back or said, "Oh, yeah. Oh, great. Oh, she's our chief. Oh, now look at her. She's a consultant." Like, what do you say to those naysayers, if anything?
I don't say anything to them. Actions speak louder than words.
Yes.
And so it's purely a matter of just don't get into the argument with them, because nobody wins at that point, and just show through your actions. And they will either accept that, yes, you can do it, or they will just drop off to the side and go find somebody else that they would like to try to pick on.
You don't even let them enter your orbit, do you?
I try not to. I learned that it's taken quite a few years to learn to ignore when it comes
Mhm.
down to that. That's why I tend not to play on a lot on social media at times.
Yeah, because it's not worth it. It doesn't serve
Correct.
you. Great. Okay, Catherine, I have a number of quick fire questions that I
Sure.
ask to every single guest. So go ahead and just answer with the first thing that comes to mind. Are you ready?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. What is one lesson you've learned that you wish everyone knew?
Always be honest
Mm,
and never try to give an answer if you do not know the answer.
love it. If you could go back and tell your younger self one thing, what would it be?
Take business classes sooner than I did.
In one sentence, what does leadership mean to you today?
I'm going to cheat and take a quote from Simon Sinek, actually, or from his book on that one, with leaders eat last. And so you are the person that is leading from the front, and your team, whether it's a team of one or a team of 1,000, needs to see you leading from the front, but you also need to make sure your team is taken care of first before you actually eat or do anything.
And what's the boldest choice you've made that's paid off?
The boldest choice that has paid off in experience, and that has been the actual when I went to become a police chief. That was a great experience, is a great learning experience. I won't say there weren't challenges on
Mhm.
that, but it was definitely a wonderful experience because it has paid off in the experience of leading and negotiations and management and paid off into coming over in the pivot into the consulting.
Yeah, take challenges, even if you're
Yes.
uncertain or it's difficult, do it anyway.
Yes.
Great. If listeners only remember one thing from this conversation, what should it be?
That I am here to rock your profits,
Yeah.
and we need a 20-minute conversation.
Easy peasy.
Yes, ma'am.
So, jumping off of that, like, what's the next big dream you're chasing?
Well, the next dream I'm chasing right now is working to build a reserve where I'm building my family's barn dough out
Mhm.
about an hour and a half away from us. And so it's getting the family all under one roof again. So that's one of those dreams that I'm working on right now. It's coming to already can see the coming into the near future. So not a problem there, but that is the one I'm chasing. And then just expanding the business so that I actually bring family into the business with me.
So, you're building your legacy, Catherine.
Yes, I am.
My gosh. Well, this has been such a powerful conversation. And thank you so much for sharing your story and your wisdom with us. And I do have a final question for you.
Sure.
So, on a personal note, what has it meant for you to share your story here on Unmute Yourself today?
It's meant a lot to me to be able to get out in front of women, other business owners, other consultants that may actually be in doubt right
Mm.
now. Reach out. I'm more than happy to talk to them, even if they are looking maybe for some training to provide guidance in areas where they could go and talk to other people. But know that they can do it. This job can be done by anyone who is actually who wants to put the effort forth and get out there and talk to other businesses.
Well, so how can listeners connect with you? And what's the best first step for them to take?
Easiest way is to reach out on my website, which is www.kathryn, which is Kathryn, Rowell, Rowell, consulting. And I've got a connect with me form on there, and I will get right back to you as soon as you reach out.
And who's your best businesses to work with? Like, who are you looking for to work with? Nonprofits, for profits, any size revenue?
Generally, I'm working with any business as far as that goes, but manufacturing businesses are ideal. The trades are a great business because they definitely need help keeping get their money back so they can go out and help their clients on that. Nonprofits with the for-profit side is ideal also because they are taking that money from the for-profit and
Hmm.
benefiting their clients, which is always a great thing for their clients because the money is going back and being used
Yeah.
where it should be on that portion. And then medical practices are a wonderful group to be able to help keep private practice in private practice rather than going corporate. So love to have a chat with medical practices.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Catherine, for joining me.
Thank you.
And thank you to everyone listening for showing up, reflecting, and unmuting yourself in your own way. If today's conversation inspired you, please share this episode, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories of leaders creating work that truly fits and matters. And until next time, unmute yourself and step into the story only you can tell.